Hi, this is Keith with DMC, and today we are going to go over how to use Application Code Manager, or ACM, with Rockwell's PlantPAx DCS. So the first step is to go to the PCDC for Rockwell here, and you can download the version 5 library of PlantPAx. Now, the actual instruction set, or the former AOIs for PlantPAx, are now baked into the firmware of the P controllers from Rockwell, but the PCDC still allows you to download some ancillary AOIs as well as some configuration utilities, as well as the Application Code Manager project that we're going to use today. So we'll go ahead and we'll open up ACM. And we already have a test project in place. We'll go ahead and create a new one. And from our download, we have already installed the PlantPAx library. So we'll go ahead and open up the base project provided from Rockwell. And this is what gives definition to how this project will be created. Here we could select how we would like our control strategies to be implemented. We're going to use function block diagrams here. Go ahead and give a name. And hit finish. Alright, so we have our base project created. And this is really what's going to give us that back end for generating our ACD file later, as well as some of our HMI displays. So one of the first things to do is import some of the base PlantPAx definitions. So we'll go ahead and do that in order. We'll add the historian here. Again, we'll go to the process tab right here. We'll just import the base definition. Next, we will import our alarm definitions right here. And we're going to use the logical organizer with PlantPAx. And we'll go ahead and finish. And we'll go ahead and import our HMI as well. So now that we have that imported, if we would like, we could go through and set up some additional definitions. For demonstration purposes, I'll go ahead and add a display. We'll call this Reactor 1001. We'll give it a title. And now we have a display for some of our objects to reference to auto-generate some of their HMI corresponding devices. So the first thing that we'll do, now that we have our definition set up, is go ahead and drag in our controller. So we'll expand the process 5 library right here. Expand controller. We'll go ahead and grab a control objects, and we'll grab the process controller version. We'll go ahead and drag that over into our project. So this gives us all the configuration options available with this controller definition. So we'll go ahead and give it a name. Plant controller. You can give it a description. And then customize the information about this controller, what slot it's in, the size of the backplane, version, the specific processor type as well. And we'll go ahead and enable the PlantPAx tasking model as well. Down below, we can set up some of our definitions here on how the FactoryTalk SE will be integrated with it. So we'll go ahead and give it a area. And our path, we'll go ahead and set to plant controller. And then the rest of these items we can configure if we would like, but just for demonstration purposes, we'll go ahead and leave the defaults. Alright, now as you can see, our controller has been dropped into the project as well, and this has created our base tasking structure. So we did enable the PlantPAx tasking model. So we have the fast, normal, slow, and system tasks here with some of the base program definitions already laid out to do some of the we'll call it the back end or the system level functions with PlantPAx. So the next thing we'll do is we'll drop in some of our organizational folders. So we'll go ahead and expand organization, grab a folder here, and we'll drag that over to our controller. So we will create our top level folder. We'll have plant. This will be our plant level. That creates this organization folder right here with our plant. We can go ahead and add new instances. So we'll have a bioreactor suite. As well as a reactor within that suite. Now what we can do is in ACM build out that hierarchy here. So go ahead and select the plant and add a child folder. We'll go ahead and link that then to our bioreactor folder here. Then we'll go ahead and do the same on the bioreactor. We'll save changes. And link our reactor instance to our bioreactor suite. So now that our folder hierarchy is set, we'll go ahead and drop in some example devices as well. So we'll open up our control strategy folder right here, and we'll open up device control, and we'll grab a valve and drop that onto our controller. So now that we've created our valve, we'll go ahead and assign our control module program to our bioreactor. So we'll go ahead to reactor 1001, add a child folder, select the reactor 1001 control modules. Now the last two things I'd like to demonstrate here in this video is how to link this device to a display in FactoryTalk SC. Now that display we made at the beginning of the video, we can now browse to and select here is our associated display. Go ahead and hit finish, and that brings in that pathway and makes that link on the back end. Now what we can do is we can generate our ACD as well as generate our FactoryTalk VUIC configuration with this display and this valve already instanced on it. So we'll go ahead and do that. So now we'll go ahead and generate our ACD, our controller configuration. Right click, select generate controller. We'll go ahead and select create ACD, and we will set this to the desktop so we know exactly where it is. We'll hit generate. Now this will generate all of our configuration as we just defined. It's going fairly quickly because we only have the single device here. Can take a considerable amount of time with a much larger configuration, so be prepared to generate the ACD and maybe go to lunch if you have a larger project. Now we can go and open up that ACD. And now that our project is open, we can see we have our PlantPAx tasking model defined already here. If we go to our logical organizer, we'll go ahead and expand out our plant. We have our bar reactor, our reactor, and our control modules. We have our valve right here, created as defined in ACM. And now that we're done creating our controller configuration, we'll go ahead and generate our HMI display information. So we'll go back to ACM, go to our displays, right click, and generate our reactor display. Now we'll go to our sample project we already have set up in FactoryTalk View Studio. We have a blank template display for our reactor 1001. We'll go ahead then and import our ACM configuration. And see that it instanced our valve that we created in ACM. So that is all we're going to demonstrate today. We'll follow up with some additional ACM videos, getting to some of the more advanced configuration as well. But in the meantime, check out the DMC website for more ACM and Rockwell information. Thanks.